Yeah. Write down the next heading. Moment of resistance for balanced sections. The moment of resistance for balanced sections. See, we know already the equation for finding the moment of resistance, right? What is the moment of resistance equation? Moment of resistance will be is equal to C into lever arm or T into lever arm, right? If I consider the compressive force, the moment of resistance based on our compressive force will be is equal to 0.36 FCK XU into B D minus 0.42 XU. That is the moment of resistance considering the compressive forces, and the moment of resistance considering the tensile forces will be equal to 0.87 Fy AST into D minus 0.42 XU will give you the moment of resistance considering the tensile forces. See, in balanced sections, we already discussed, in balanced sections, this XU will become XU max, right now. This XU will become XU max. For balanced sections, this XU will become XU max. So here also it will become XU max. Better you write it separately. Okay. For balanced sections, for XU will become XU max. See, one more thing is there. If you put the values of XU max here, if you put the values of XU max here, what is the XU max value? The XU max value for our Fe 250 grade steel, it is 0.53D. XU limit for Fe 250 grade steel, it is 0.53D, and XU limit for Fe 415 grade steel, it is 0.48D, and XU limit for our Fe 500 grade steel, it is 0.46D. It is for Fe 250 grade steel, and it is for Fe 415 grade steel. It is for Fe 500 grade steel, for different grades of steel. If I use we can easily find the moment of resistance for different grades of steel. FCK is there, B is there, D is there, 0.42 XU max is there. If I put the value of 0.53D, or if I use the Fe 250 grade steel, and if I use this value, that is 0.53D, I will be getting the moment of resistance here in this equation. Right now, see, if I use for Fe 250 grade, for Fe 250 grade steel, if I use the value of XU max, that is 0.53D, I will be getting the moment of resistance equation like this: 0.148 FCK BD square. That is for Fe 250 grade steel. And similarly, if I use the value of XU max for Fe 415 grade steel, the XU max value is 0.48D. If I use this 0.48D here and here, I will be getting the equation as 0.138 FCK BD square. And similarly, for Fe 500 grade steel, it will be 0.136 FCK BD square. Remember, this is for Fe 250 grade steel, Fe 415 grade steel, Fe 500 grade steel respectively. Remember these equations. These equations are known as moment of resistance for limiting sections, or I am going to write it as mu limit, or moment of resistance for limiting sections. Moment of resistance for limiting sections will be equal to 0.148 FCK BD square for Fe 250 grade steel, 0.138 FCK BD square for Fe 415 steel, 0.136 FCK BD square for Fe 500 grade steel. For different grades of steel, mu limit value will be different. Right now, please note it down. You have to remember these values: 0.53, 0.48, 0.46. There it is: 0.148, 0.138, 0.133. Right now, I'm sorry. This is not 136. I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry for this. This is 133. 0.148, 138, 133. I'm sorry for that. It is 0.133 FCK BD square. Right now, everyone, please listen here. This is 0.133 FCK BD square. Right? Yeah. It was a mistake from my side. It was 0.133 FCK BD square. Okay. Instead of this 0.136, I have written 0.136 instead of 0.133. It was a mistake from my side. I am sorry for that. You have to correct it. Everyone, please correct this. 0.133 FCK BD square. Okay. Yeah. This is called the moment of resistance for balanced sections, or you can call it as MU limit. MU limit. Remember this equation: 0.138 FCK BD square, 0.138 FCK BD square, and 0.133 FCK BD square. Right? I think I can remove this. Right? Next one, give the heading: balanced percentage of steel. Balanced percentage of steel. What is this balanced percentage of steel? This is defined as the steel required for our balanced section. What is the area of steel required for our balanced section? That's the meaning of our balanced percentage of steel. For balanced section, we know that compressive force. If I consider this equation, that is compressive force is equal to tensile force. We can consider this balanced percentage of steel. If what is the compressive force? 0.36 FCK XU into B is equal to 0.87 Fy into AST. As I told you, for balanced section, XU will become XU limit, right? What is this percentage of steel? Percentage of steel matlab AST divided by area, effective area, into 100 will be the percentage of steel. If I take the value, or if I try to get it from this equation, I will be getting something like this. AST divided by B will be equal to 0.36 FCK XU limit divided by 0.87 Fy. Keeping AST and bringing B here, the remaining portion is 0.36 FCK XU limit divided by 0.87 Fy. That is our area of steel, but that will not be the complete equation. Now we need a D here. AST divided by BD, and we have to equate that, we have to put a D there also. So into 100 will be giving you the balanced percentage of steel. If I put the value of FCK, we don't know the value of FCK. FCK will be given in the question. XU limit I know. For different grades of steel, I can find the XU limit value. I can find the XU limit value, right? I can find Fy value. Sorry for this. If FCK value will be given in the question. The balanced percentage of steel required using M20 grade concrete and Fe250 grade steel, right? We already know what is the balanced percentage of steel. To find the balanced percentage of steel, the percentage of balanced steel, for balanced percentage of steel will be equal to 0.36, FCK will be 20 divided by, what is the XU limit value for Fe250 grade steel? What is our XU limit value for Fe250 grade steel? It is 0.53D, right? Yes, it is 0.53D divided by 0.87 Fy. Fy here is 250 Newton per mm square into D will be there into 100. We will be getting that D and D will get cancelled. Remaining is 1.748 percentage, or you can say 1.75 percentage will be the balanced percentage of steel for the given beam. Right, you are right. 1.75 percentage. Similarly, if you are interested, you can find the balanced percentage of steel. Removing this, if you can similarly find the balanced percentage of steel for Fe415 grade steel and for Fe500 steel. You can find it. Right. If you are interested, you can go for this just for practice. Okay. That will be the balanced percentage of steel. Right. If this M20 grade is changed to M15, this value will be changed and the area answer will be different. I think you got the answer. We are next heading minimum tension reinforcement. Minimum tension or reinforcement. As per our IS 456-2000, or our code is saying to us, our code is recommending the use of minimum tension reinforcement in the singly reinforced beams to avoid the sudden or abrupt failure in the concrete or in the beam. If you are not providing this minimum tension reinforcement, there will be a possibility of sudden or abrupt failure. If you are not providing enough reinforcement in the beam, the nature of failure, the ductility of the beam will be less, and the nature of failure will be more. So the nature of failure will be brittle in nature. So the ductility will be reduced. So IS code is suggesting the use of minimum tension reinforcement in the beam, and that minimum tension reinforcement is given in the equation AST divided by BD AST divided by BD. AST is actually our minimum tension reinforcement is equal to 0.85 divided by Fy. Use this equation directly, into 100 is also there. Use the equation directly to get the minimum tension reinforcement in the beam. You can see here it depends only on one value, that is Fy. That is the grade of the steel. For Fe 250 grade steel, you can find the minimum tension reinforcement. You can find it now itself. What is the minimum? What is the minimum tension reinforcement required for this Fe 250 grade steel? What is the minimum tension reinforcement for Fe 250 grade steel? It will be equal to 0.85 divided by 250 into 100. You will be getting the answer. What is the answer? You are getting there. What is the answer you are getting there? If you use Fe 250 grade steel, what is the answer you are getting there? I think it's 0.3. You are giving me the answer for this? Right now? Yes, exactly. 0.34% will be the area of tension reinforcement required. Minimum area of tension reinforcement. This is for Fe 250 grade steel. For Fe 450 grade steel, please give me the answer. 0.85 divided by 415 into 100 will be equal to 0.2048, right? For Fe 415 grade steel, what is the answer? Fe 415 grade steel. Yes, 0.2048. Similarly, for our Fe 500 grade steel, what is the answer? What is the answer for Fe 500 grade steel? Yes, exactly 0.17% for our Fe 500 grade steel. So these are the values, these are the minimum tension reinforcement required as per IS 456-2000. This equation is important, okay? This equation is important. You are going to get a direct questions from this equation. They are going to directly give you the equation there. You will be asked questions from this equation. You can get direct questions. They will be asking what is the equation for finding the minimum tension reinforcement as per IS 456-2000. This will be there in the option. AST divided by BD is equal to 0.85 divided by Fy into 100 will be the minimum tension reinforcement as per IS 456-2000. Right now, if I am discussing about minimum tension reinforcement, I have to discuss about the maximum tension reinforcement also, right? So give the heading maximum tension reinforcement or maximum reinforcement in tension. Maximum tension reinforcement. Maximum tension reinforcement. In order to avoid the congestion of the concrete in the concrete beam, our IS code is limiting the use of steel also. Limiting the use of steel means we cannot provide steel more than this in the beam. So that is the meaning of our maximum tension reinforcement. In our beams, the maximum tension reinforcement is limited to 4% of gross area. 4% of gross area, or we can say 4 by 100 into gross area means B into D, right? B into D. Remember this. It is not our small d, it is our capital D. You will be getting the gross our maximum tension reinforcement as 0.004 BD. That is the AST max. Maximum tension reinforcement is equal to 0.04 BD. Right? You have to remember this also. You are going to get direct questions from this. Can be any competitive exams, including GATE exam. Including in GATE exam also, you can get questions from this. Maximum area of reinforcement in tension is equal to 4% of our gross area. Remember, gross area, not the effective. Sorry, you have to use the gross depth there, not the effective depth. If you use the gross depth, you will be getting the gross area, total area, right? So AST max will be equal to 0.04 into BD. BD is the gross area. So that will give you the maximum tension reinforcement. Why we are limiting the tension reinforcement? In order to avoid the congestion of the concrete. See, after placing this reinforcement, we will pour the concrete. Now, if the area of tension reinforcement is more, the placing of concrete or the compacting will become difficult. So that's the reason why we are limiting the use of tension reinforcement to 0.04 BD or 4% of gross area. Right now, this minimum tension reinforcement is provided in order to avoid the abrupt failure in the beam, or in order to avoid the brittle failure of the beam. We are just trying to improve the ductility of the beam. That's why. Okay, so remember this: AST divided by BD is equal to 0.85 divided by Fy, and the maximum tension reinforcement will be equal to 4% of our gross area. Okay, yeah. So Srikanth Nair is sir my doubt. Srikanth Nair, I think I have answered your doubt. You asked me like what is the percentage of steel area, right? It must be AST divided by B into D. AST divided by B into D. AST divided by B into D. That D is effective depth, Srikanth. D into D. Effective depth means AST divided by B into D. Okay, so D is the small, that is small d, that is the effective depth. One second, let me search for the mouse. Yeah. So should not multiply the second dimension with the result. Should not, see Rudraj, actually I am not getting you. Should not multiply their section dimension with the result. Should not multiply the section dimension. Rudraj, please post it again. Rudraj, please post it again. I will answer you. If you are coming up with the more steel area from the design, then what should we do? So actually, we will discuss about that. If the area steel provided is more than AST, that minimum, it is actually our reinforced section. Okay. What we can do, we can just limit the moment we have the load acting on the beam. We have to limit the moment acting. We have to reduce the moment of resistance of the beam. Okay. That's the only one we can do there. Minimum, one second. You are asking me any number of doubts. I should not. Okay. I have answered Rudraj. Rudraj, please comment your question again. I will answer that. Saksham, minimum at steel at least to be provided in the beam. I think you are answering Srikanth. Minimum steel at least to be, yes. We have to provide a minimum of tension reinforcement. Even if you are, suppose you cannot provide a beam without a reinforcement. Na? You have to provide a minimum of tension reinforcement. That equation, minimum reinforcement will be obtained by this equation. That's the meaning of it. If you are coming up with more steel area from the design, then what should you do? I told you now, Gadhav. I think that's the same question. If AST is more than AST limit, it will be over reinforced section. What we can do is we have to reduce the moment which we are going to give on the beam. Okay. If AST is less than minimum tension reinforcement, it is under reinforced. No, Srikanth. I think you are confused there. This minimum tension reinforcement is actually the minimum tension reinforcement that has to be provided in the beam. We are talking about the balanced area. Before this, I have discussed about the balanced tension reinforcement, right? AST, if AST is less than AST limit, or the steel area of steel provided is less than the balanced area, then we can be considered as a under reinforced section. Okay. If AST is less than balanced area, then it is an under reinforced section. If AST is more than AST limit or AST balance, it is over reinforced sections. You can consider that. I think Dhruv was asking the same. Yeah. And Saksham, it is under reinforcement. Yes, Saksham is giving the answer, section dimension, to calculate the percentage of steel. Rudraj, in finding the percentage of steel, shouldn't we multiply the obtained value with the width and effective depth of the given section? See, actually, we are doing that, right? See, AST divided by BD is equal to 0.3%. 0.3% of what? See, from this, if you want to find the AST minimum, suppose you are getting AST minimum divided by BD is equal to 0.34%. Suppose you are getting it as 0.34%. AST minimum will be equal to 0.34% of BD. Right now, 0.34% of BD, effective area. Saksham, from minimum, no, we cannot conclude that. We cannot do that. We cannot conclude. We cannot go for that conclusion. Okay, Rudraj, is it clear now? This is AST minimum divided by BD is equal to 0.35%. We have to provide a minimum of 0.35% of effective area. Okay, that's the meaning of they have the equation here. No? We can understand from this equation. Right. You can start solving this question. You can see one question there. It is a gate question actually. You can start solving that question. I need everyone to try that question. It's a very important question and very interesting question also. Try to solve that question, please, everyone. Can we design a beam always using AST max? Ankit, actually, there is actually that we'll be getting. Suppose we are getting AST. We got AST value there. That AST should not be greater than this value given by your IIS code. If the AST, suppose I got it as 0.04 BD, suppose that the area I got around is 1500 mm square for a beam. We cannot give an area more than that. That's the meaning of it. Okay. If you want, we can design it, no issues. But economy is also a factor. That's the reason. See, we have to get a section which is both safe and economical, right? Economy is also we have to consider. We have to keep economy also into our mind, in our mind. Srikanth is giving me the answer. Srikanth, try again once again try. So I'll read the question for you. Assume straight line instead of parabola for the stress strain curve of concrete as shown below. Partial safety factor is also given as 1. So what is given in the question? We are given with a stress strain curve like this. Everyone can listen here. This is the stress strain curve given in the question. This is strain and this is stress. It is given that given a stress strain curve like this. It is a linear line till a strain value 0.002 and it is failing at a strain value of 0.0035. That means the failure strain is 0.0035 and the strain this strain is 0.002. It is also given that this design strength is given as a 0.7 FCK and the partial safety factor is also given as 1, which means that this is actually our design strength FD. We don't have to consider 0.45 FCK. Whichever this model is model number 2, I guess, right? This FCK value or the design strength value will be equal to 0.67 FCK as it is given in the question. The partial safety factor to be considered for concrete is 1. So what is the given question? It's a numerical answer, the multiple question. The two questions are the linked question. Question A, question number 1. A rectangular under reinforced concrete section. So it's already given that under reinforced section of 300 mm width and 500 mm effective depth is reinforced with 3 bars of 16 mm diameter Fe 415 gauge steel. Concrete is M20. The depth of neutral axis from the compression fiber is. So he is asking us to find the XU, that is actual depth of neutral axis. Given details are breadth is given. Breadth B is given, that is 300 mm. Effective depth, not the overall depth, effective depth D is given as 500 mm. Tension reinforcement is also given. 3 numbers of 16 mm dia. That is 3 into pi d square by 4 will give you the area of tension reinforcement. Pi into 16 square divided by 4. Then what else is given? We are given with FCK, that is M20. FCK will be equal to M20 or we can say 20 Newton per mm square, right? 20 MPa and Fy here will be equal to 415 Newton per mm square. So we are asked to find the depth of neutral axis, right? So we are asked to find the depth of neutral axis, right? We are asked to find the depth of neutral axis. We are asked to find the actual depth of neutral axis. How to find the actual depth of neutral axis? Actual depth of neutral axis will be equal to, we already wrote the equation, right? 0.87 Fy AST divided by 0.36 FCK into B. Put the values. Fy is given there, AST is given there, FCK is given there, B is given there. Get the value. What is the answer? What is the answer? What is the answer of XU? Tell me the value XU. Why it is wrong? Why it is wrong? Some of you will do this. I told you many times you cannot use this equation. Why you cannot use this equation? Why? Because this equation I obtained by considering a stress strain curve like this. We have considered the stress strain curve like this. Now a parabola till the strain value 0.002 and it will be uniform till the strain value 0.0035. But here the stress strain curve is not given like this. It is a linear curve till the point 002 and it is uniform till 0.0035. So this equation I cannot use here. Some of you will get the answer as 100 point something. Why? Because they are used in this equation and there is an option waiting for you, option D. Getting now? So in GATE exam, this is the problem. They will never disappoint you in the examination hall. Whatever the answer you are getting, he know where you are going to make the mistake. There will be an option waiting for you. So always be careful about the equations. Always be careful about the concepts you are using there in the examination hall. Right now? So this equation is not valid there. Why? Because we are having a different stress strain curve. Right now? So this I am going to find the compressive force. I am going to find the tensile force separately to find the XU value. Right now? So I am going to find. I am going to draw the stress strain curve here. This is a strain diagram. Suppose this is the strain diagram. What is the strain value given here? 0.0035. So there is no change in the strain value. Here the strain value is 0.002 plus Fy divided by 1.15 ES. This is actually our neutral axis. Now we are going to consider the stress block. Stress block, we are having the stress block here. This is the stress block. This is the tensile force. And we will be having a stress strain curve like this. Right now, this is the stress block, right? It's a parabola till the strain value 0.00, right? This is correct, right? This is correct. This is wrong. Why? Because we cannot consider a parabola here. Why? Because we are having a linear portion. We are having a triangular portion there. So we have to consider a triangular portion like this. We have to consider a triangular portion like this. This will be our stress block. Like now. So what is the value here? This is not 0.45 FCK. This is given as 0.67 FCK. So we have to consider it as 0.67 FCK. We have to consider it as 0.67 FCK. As I told you, there will be compressive force C1 here and there will be compressive force C2 here. Combination of these two will be our total compressive force, that is C. So in order to find the compressive force will be equal to area of the stress block into breadth, area of the stress block into breadth, area of this triangular portion and the area of this rectangular portion. In order to find the area, I need this distance. What is this distance? If it is x2, what is this distance? Tell me what is x1? Tell me what is x1? Tell me what is x1? Please tell me what is x1? Exactly, it is 4 by 7 xu. And x2 is, x1 is 4 by 7 xu. x2 is 3 by 7 xu. Why? Because the strain value is not changing. If the strain value is changing, I have to find the x1, x2 from here. Suppose it is given that 0.002 or 5, I have to consider find the x1, x2 value from the strain diagram. Here it is not changing. That's why I can consider that x1 is equal to 4 by 7 xu. Here it is 3 by 7 xu. And coming to our C1, what is C1? C1 is the area of this rectangular portion. Nah? C1 will be equal to 0.67 FCK into 3 by 7 xu into B. C2 will be equal to half into 0.67 FCK into 4 by 7 xu into B. Add them, tell me the total compressive force. Tell me what is the total compressive force. Please tell me the answer. Total compressive force here will be equal to. Please tell me what is the total compressive force here. Let me check the answer. Yes, I'm going with 0.478 FCK XU into B. As you people are giving me, most of you are giving me the answer. 0.478 FCK XU into B. So C will be equal to, total compressive force will be equal to 0.478 FCK XU into B will be the compressive force. Tensile force will be equal to, we already know tensile force will be equal to 0.87 Fy into AST. If I equate them both, I will be getting what value? I will be getting the XU value. That is, C is equal to T. I will be using the equilibrium condition. C is equal to T. That is 0.478 FCK XU into B is equal to 0.87 Fy into AST. From this, I need to find the XU value. XU will be equal to 0.87 Fy AST divided by 0.478 FCK into B. 0.87 into Fy here is given as 450 Newton per mm square. AST given is 3 numbers of 16 mm dia. 3 into pi d square divided by 4. The whole divided by 0.478. FCK is 20 into breadth is 300 mm. So you'll be getting the answer here. I think the answer is 76 mm. Right now, answer here is 76 mm, right? Yes. Nandini, very good. Vikram, yes, I think you people are giving me 0.478. Hubli will actually, there may be a mistake. You can just take it 1 second. You gave me the answer as 0.578, something like that. Understand where you are making the mistakes, okay? So here the answer for this question, answer here will be 76 mm. Answer will be A. A will be the correct answer for this question. 76 mm. Remember this. If he is changing if he is giving a different stress strain curve, this will be different. We have to call the compressive force will be different. I got the compressive force here as 0.478 FCK x unit B. 0.478 FCK x unit B. Hubli Civil, actually that partial safety factor is given for concrete, not for steel. I think it is not mentioned there. Assume a straight line instead of parabola for stress strain curve of concrete as given below and partial safety factor as 1. That is mentioned for concrete, not for steel, okay? Hubli Civil, don't get confused. It is 0.67 FCK, it is 0.67 FCK and it is 0.87 FY. That partial safety factor is given for concrete, not for steel. Read the sentence once again. Assume the straight line instead of parabola for the stress strain curve of concrete as given below and partial safety factor as 1. It is given as 1. If it is giving a different value, it will be given separately for steel also. Okay. Anindita, I think you all got it right. So you people are having that doubt. Anindita, Saksham, Hubli. See, it is given for concrete. Maybe it is not mentioned there. It is for concrete and for steel it will be same. That is 1.15. Okay. So you can go. I think it's clear. Is it clear? I think it's clear. You people are giving me the right answer, right? So you can go to this question. It is a second part of that question actually. It's a linked answer type question. You can, yes, Tanbir, very good. You can go to that question. It is a second part of that question. Try to give the answer for that question, please. This is our question number 1 and this is our question number 2. Yeah. See, in that question it is given that the depth of the neutral axis obtained as per IS 456-2000, it is actually 20,000 written there, it is 2000, differs from the depth of the neutral axis obtained in the previous question. So this is the depth of the neutral axis obtained in the previous question and it differs from the depth obtained from our IS 456-2000. So what will be the depth of neutral axis as per IS 456-2000? To find the depth of neutral axis, x is equal to, as per IS 456-2000, it will be 0.87 FY AST divided by 0.36 FCK into B. Put the values of Fy, AST, FCK in B. AST will be 3 into pi into 16 square divided by 4. Fy will be 415. FCK will be 20 and B will be 300. Put the values, you will be getting the answer here as 101 mm. We will be getting the answer here as 101, that is 101 mm. Remember, he is asking you the difference between these two. Sometimes in the options 101 will also be there. In the options 101 will also be there in the options. Why? Because after getting this answer, your mind, subconscious mind will automatically go to the options. You will be seeing the options there you will be seeing this 101 there in the options. You will go for that option, you will be getting the wrong answer. I told you, the GATE examiner is not going to disappoint you. Okay. I mean, read the question carefully. Many people will make this mistake. 101 will also be there in the question. Also in the options. If you are going with this, you will be getting the wrong answers. Right now, this is 101. This is 76. He is asking you the difference between them. Difference between them is 101 minus 76 will be equal to 25 mm will be the difference. Answer will be C. That is 25 mm will be the answer. Yes. No one is getting the wrong answer. I am extremely happy for this. Everyone is getting the concepts. Very good. Yes, very good. Right. If it is clear, if you people are saying it is clear, we will move